for food. So if there's no money, why are we able to now afford Volta Serene? The Efija Kwabri, not legislator, who is a former deputy minister of energy, said in the Twi dialect. He also indicated that the decision to go for the workshop at the Volta Serene Hotel in Ho was politically motivated. He indicated that in 2022, the speaker rejected a proposal to hold a similar program at Rock City Hotel owned by Brian Achampong because he's a member of the MPP, suggesting that the Volta Serene Hotel, where the recent orientation was held, belongs to people affiliated with the ruling National Democratic Congress, the NDC. My brother, this is what happens when you put partisan people in responsible, democratic, patriotic positions. I'm choosing my words so judiciously. This is what happens when you put people who are overly partisan into responsible, patriotic, democratic positions. I am so ashamed that these guys are behaving like kindergarten children. These guys are behaving like kindergarten children. A few years back, they were supposed to hold a similar orientation, and the hotel that was chosen did not belong to a Japanese, neither did it belong to a Chinese, nor an Englishman or an American. It belonged to a Ghanaian. But because he had a label, political label of the NPP, the MP here claims that was the reason they refused to hold the orientation in there. But the explanation was that the nation did not have so much money for that, and therefore the orientation could be done in Parliament. Similarly, we are in 2025. Speaker of Parliament wants to hold an orientation for MPs. And this time round, they chose the Volta Serene. Now, political lenses have all of a sudden been brought out, pulled out of their hiding spaces and places. And the verdict is that this hotel also belongs to sympathizers of the ruling party, the NDC. And for that matter, they don't see such people as Ghanaians. They see them as NDC people. And therefore, they will not allow the orientation to be held there. So they decided to boycott that. And their reason is the same. Mr. President says the economy is in the ICU, and for that matter, there is no need to hold such an exorbitant orientation in a hotel like that. So, when thief man thiefs man, God laughs. But it hurts me. You know why it hurts me? People are playing politics with Ghana. And I am so ashamed of these people. If I were given the chance, I will send all of them to Kwame Nkrumah State Farm and let them farm there for 2 years non-stop to feed the poor people of this country, because common sense is missing here. It is the common sense of patriotism that is totally eluding them. What they have now is partisan, dirty partisan mind. If Ghana suffers because of your partisan behavior, my brother, my sister, all Ghanaians go down, including your parties. But the common sense that we have, my brother, my sister, will not teach us this. It's sad. Look at an MP. He thinks he has made so much sense. But at least he's been able to expose the dirty politics we have in this country. And I thank him for this. Let me go to Alban Bagbin. Speaker of Parliament, I love you, and you know that I do. I think you are a frank man, And I think that you have done a lot to be able to put our parliament where it is right now. I'm sure you were so ashamed when you saw tables being broken in the parliament house, when you saw microphones broken in the parliament house, and you decided to suspend some people, hooligans by nature, and all of a sudden, under pressure, you have brought them back again to continue with their hooliganism. But in your own wisdom, it will not make any sense if they are not sent on an orientation to teach them about loving Ghana and not their political parties. I understand you, Speaker of Parliament. If members of Parliament are breaking tables and chairs and squeezing each other's balls, as we were told, my brother, my sister, this should go into the Guinness Book of Records. The only parliament in the world where people target the scrotum of parliamentary members, MPs. My brother, my sister, that put aside, the Speaker of Parliament saw in his own wisdom that it was time to take all the MPs on an orientation, to teach them a common sense of patriotism. Up till now, tell me, who is paying for the broken tables and chairs? Who is paying for the broken microphones? And these are people who want us to call them honorables. These are people, my brother, my sister, who were voted by the Ghanaian voter to represent them. They have turned it into a boxing ring where they squeeze each other's scrotal whatever. My brother, my sister, that notwithstanding, can I go deeper into it? Speaker of Parliament, if a few years back it was difficult for you to make money and send people to a hotel for an orientation, and the president told us point blank that it is even worse now, how were you able to afford money to travel all the way to the Volta region for an orientation? I'm sure at the orientation, people will be eating like pigs. Pigs. In my country, hi, when we are invited to parties, we go there empty stomach and we eat like pigs. We eat as if we want to eat to last us 1 million years. This is the only food we eat and we'll never eat again. It looks like it's our last meal. Anytime there is anything like this called an orientation, they give them rooms that are better than rooms that they themselves sleep in. They give them food as if they were 7 kings and queens in El Dorado. After eating like pigs, they come out and break tables and chairs. All over Africa, we have a problem like this. Look what is happening in the South African parliament. My brother, my sister, people punching each other as if it were a boxing ring. Of course, when gluttons go for orientation, the next thing they do is to come with their gluttonous nature and destroy like vandals, the vandals that they are. I'm ashamed of you. To end this, Mr. Bagbin, please stop this hypocrisy. It won't help you, it won't help me. If the country is in the ICU, the economy is so much deteriorated as told to us by the president, where from the money for that orientation in that exorbitant hotel? Was it a way to pay back your supporters? Couldn't this have been done in the Parliament House, as you suggested years back? Please, let us think Ghana. A lot of you, including the Speaker, we hear when you are sick, you fly to Dubai and all those places and cure yourselves. What happened to the Ghanaian doctors? What happened to all the hospitals Mahama built? What happened to the Agenda 111 hospitals? We disrespect our doctors so much. We are overly partisan. A lot of our politicians are sick, so sick, they do not want anybody to know what sickness they have. In fact, some of the sicknesses they have, doctors do not even know their names. I want to believe. That is why a lot of them are flying out of this country and looking down on the doctors we have. For the MP who brought this out, I want to thank you, but stop being childish. This is so childish. MPP, NDC, this belongs to NDC, so we will not go there. This belongs to MPP, we will not belong. MPP people, do they have their own country? NDC people, do they have their own country aside Ghana? Stop this childishness. I'm going to tackle an issue that is quite controversial, but of course, I'm asking myself, should I do it? I don't think I should do it. But something tells me I must do it. Because if I don't do it, who will do it? So, I've taken the cross. This one I'm reading from my Joy Online, and it says, illegal mining spree on Manshia-linked concession. And I read, it remains to be seen what steps the government will take after the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II publicly lamented that the illegal miners had overrun a gold prospecting concession belonging to him. He revealed that unauthorized mining was taking place on the concession without his knowledge, raising serious questions about who is responsible for the environmental destruction from the illegal mining operations which have devastated the banks of the Tano River. I have heard that the concession, you see, that's former chief executive of the Minerals Commission, granted me, has been overrun by illegal Galamsey miners. But I don't even know the place, he said on February 14, 2025, when the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi Bua, visited him at the Manshia Palace in Kumasi. The concession was given to me, and I intended to develop it, only to hear that illegal miners had taken over. Otumfuo Osei II said, if I am accused of engaging in Galamsey as a traditional ruler, what can I say when I do not even know where the place is? His remarks have brought the Fourth Estate scrutiny to Budukwai Holding Company Limited, the entity holding the concession, and its links to the Manshia Palace. Investigations by the Fourth Estate suggest that despite having only a prospecting license, extensive mining has been taking place on the concession, raising illegal and environmental concerns. Oh my God. Bodukwai Holding Company Limited applied for a prospecting license on June 2, 2023 to explore for gold in Mosiaso or Dumasi in the Western region. 6 months later, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources approved the request, granting the company 3 years to conduct exploration over an area the size of 250 football pitches. A significant portion of the concession overlaps with the Tano River, a key water source for communities in Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire. My producer is whispering into my ears and is telling me, Blakk Rasta, can we skip this? I'm not comfortable with this. But if we skip it, who is going to do it? A few months ago, there was an investigation by Manasseh Azure's Fourth Estate, and he said that Bodukwai Holding Company was supposed to be a prospecting company. Mineral prospecting, you know what that means? You are only supposed to go out there and find out where we can find minerals at a certain specified place. All of a sudden, after they got the prospecting license, without any other license to mine gold, they went onto Otumfuo's concession and started mining, destroying flora and fauna, and also disturbing the water body Tano. Otumfuo said he was given the piece of land. Under what condition was Otumfuo given that? Why was Otumfuo given that? We are told that AEC, the former Minerals Commission boss, was the one who did it. He gave him that concession. Can we know under what conditions this was given? What was the reason? Did Otumfuo ask for it? Or was it a gift? Shall we know what informed that gift? What informed the giving of that piece of land to Otumfuo? From the way Otumfuo is speaking, he did not ask for any piece of land. It was given to him by AEC, former chief executive of the Minerals Commission. Otumfuo said he doesn't even know the location of the land. But here we are told that Bodukwai Holdings Company is associated with Manshia. Manshia is so aware of Bodukwai Holdings Company according to the Fourth Estate. And therefore, if there's any distraction going on, it will be very difficult to exclude the Asante. Is somebody not telling the truth? Or has the Otumfuo been taken for a ride? At his blind side, some things might be happening. And because he's not able to go to the land and check it out for himself, he might not know exactly what is happening. We all remember ODK coming out point blank in Kumasi to say that the Otumfuo himself was engaged in Galamsey. Do we all remember? My brother, when it comes to Ghana, shall we put aside all our ethnic forbearances, all our partisan colors, and speak Ghana? Can we have an investigation into this? If we can investigate Kenoforiata, I think that we should be able to investigate anybody. Nobody is bigger than the truth. We must investigate everybody. My brother, don't sit down and say somebody is too big for an investigation when that person is destroying Ghana. When Ghana is destroyed, it's not the big man alone who dies, smaller people to die, and we all have the right to live. Therefore, if somebody is sinking our ship, we should be bold enough to be vocal and say, listen, man, when the ship is sinking, you don't die alone. We go down as well. Can we have an investigation? Can the Fourth Estate help with this investigation? I smell a rat in this case. A rotten rat. What is happening? Why can't we love our country anymore? Chiefs all over Ghana are involved in Galamsey. Otumfuo is going around destooling a lot of these Galamsey chiefs. All of a sudden, somebody comes out to say, oh, don't mind Otumfuo, he himself is doing Galamsey. We remember the mob that ran down the radio station and vandalized the car of ODK when this happened in Kumasi. My brother, my sister, the radio station was closed down for a number of days. Otumfuo himself asked for it to be open, that he did not ask them to close it down. I remember. My brother, my sister, nobody is bigger than the truth. Nobody is bigger than Ghana. If we sit back and claim that some people are bigger than the country, we shall sink together. And when we appear before God, he will whip us for being stupid. Now, there's a last thing I want to look at. I truly did not want to look at this, but it looks like there's a knock on my door telling me, Blakk Rasta, look at this. You know that you have to look at this. Well, I've taken the cross. He says, now that you have lost, you want to blame Oforiatta for everything. Haruna Idrisu to NPP MPs. And I read, now the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has criticized the members of parliament representing the New Patriotic Party for what he believed to be their attempt to absolve themselves of responsibility for the party's disastrous performance in the 2024 elections, while shifting all the blame onto the former Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta. According to him, the MPs also contributed to the country's challenges by supporting the actions of the former Minister of Finance, despite cautions from the stakeholders and individuals regarding the potential repercussions of some decisions made by the previous government. Now, the Member of Parliament of Tamale South further highlighted how the NPP MPs firmly opposed calls from the National Democratic Congress MPs for the censure of Ken Oforiatta. He chastised them for their involvement and role in contributing to the country's economic crisis. Now, it is the same theme as the one we just looked at. Sitting down for one or two big people to sink the whole national ship. My brother, watch this. Oforiatta was a very abysmally performing MP. I beg your pardon, finance minister. So arrogant, he would not listen to anybody. They squeezed Ghanaians into rat holes, gave us unprofessional haircuts with our own money. They made us sick. Some of us have died because of the shock we got from the unprofessional haircuts that they gave us. Our souls will never rest until Oforiatta goes down. All the sicknesses he's suffering right now, I want to believe they come from the ghosts of those he gave unprofessional haircuts to. Karma is a very dangerous she-dog. Who see who you are? You say you are sick. You know why you are sick? Because you've made millions sick. Look at the old men and women who are crying night and day. Oforiatta, 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 Oforiatta. When you go north, it's Oforiatta, Oforiatta. All sick people. A lot of them died because of the unprofessional haircuts. And you expect to be healthy? You think God is a statue? The statue of the dwarfish president we saw broken down in the western region? You think God is that statue? My God have mercy. When I hear in the news that Oforiatta is sick, or some other such politician is sick, all I see is karma. All I see is karma. I will not be judgmental. But my brother, sometimes you don't need to be a judge to make sense. It is so shockingly sad. My brother, my sister, look how many pensioners are crying. Their prayer is that Nyame huni omundipa. How can you put so much misery on these people who have served the nation through blood and toil? In their days of rest, you give them unrest. You push them into rat holes, cover them, and pour pepper onto their heads. And you think you'll be healthy? No, sir. The Jamaican will tell you, it don't go so. It doesn't go like that. My brother, now they lost the elections. Mr. President is sitting down with a lot of these people pretending that they do not understand why they lost. And it's clear. It tells me that these are charlatans who took Ghanaians for a ride and they did not care what Ghanaians went through. All the crying they never heard. After all, a tiema, a referee. Today, they are falling sick one after the other. Oh God, give them more sickness. Those that have malaria, please turn the malaria into diabetes. Those who have headache, give them scrotal hernia. Those who have stomach ulcer, give them stomach cancer. Those who have blurry eyes and can't see too well, make them blind. Those of them who walk with walking sticks, break their legs. Those who sit on wheelchairs, let them have heart attack in the seats. It's sad. My brother, you only need to talk to one or two pensioners and you will cry your blood dry. Some of them have become beggars. Some of them have become subjects of insults and ridicule. Yet, they still have money to fly to America. When the OSP is looking for them, they are languishing in opulence in America. Cancer. erectile dysfunction, cancer of the penis. You lost because you were arrogant. You lost because you were nonchalant. You lost because you made Ghanaians suffer. You lost because you were numb to all our crying. May you remain in opposition till Jesus Christ comes. I leave it here.